How you doing, folks? It's Joe Value here for Cold Beer Sports on Holden Gold Cup Day at Exeter. But before I settle down to watch the action, I have the results of the competition. Thanks very much for the the interest that was taken. It was absolutely huge, great response, and you know, uh, the answers were brilliant. Like it brought back a lot of great memories. Uh, but before I just announce the winners, I want to just remind you and do yourself a favour and make sure you tune in for the Breeders' Cup preview. Uh, it's this evening there with Mickey D and Mad Merrigan. I had a sneak preview. I was having a few points with the boys last weekend, and I'm not kidding you. I was surprised with their knowledge of, the American racing, and that I didn't think many Irish men followed the sport as closely as that. But these two boys, it was like listening to the two Americans, experts on the telly there chatting away about American racing. I was surprised and very impressed, and I'm definitely looking forward to tuning into the preview because these two boys definitely, a few disagreements has to be said, and that's healthy. Like you can't. There's no point agreeing the whole time about every race, but they're very sweet. I know Mad Merrigan is very, very sweet on one or two, and Mickey D, the bookie basher, definitely has his homework done as well. So I tell you now, I'm just saying it's going to be, it's definitely worth a watch. Okay, so we'll move on then to the competition winners. 5 €20 free bets. So before I do, I'll just flick through some of the. There's no real wrong answers, it's just any of these could have nearly made top five, but the likes of one man, Duckland, like one man, what a horse he was. Trained by Nicky Richards. Beautiful grey. If you want to see the best, well, one in my opinion, one of the best jumping performances of all time, you go onto YouTube and you watch one man when he won the Tommy Whittle chase at Haydock. Just every fence he met spot on and just glided through uh, the air, and he went on then to win the King George, and of course he didn't stay the trip in the Gold Cup, just couldn't get up the hill there for the final half mile or so, and they switched him back, won a Queen Mother. Unfortunately, after that, they went to entry, and the horse didn't come over it. But Jesus Christ, what a career! Like fantastic. And then you had the likes of Docklands Express, Seymour Business, The Fella was a great shout, Moscow Flyer, obviously, Dorn's Pride, Legend of a Horse, Claron Davis, Imperial Call was a great shout. A few lads there, Pat Tierney and a few other lads gave that a good show. Christy Lee was there with a few as well. CJ Lifts mentioned Like a Butterfly, and Montalado. Montalado was the only horse to ever win two Cheltenham races in a row. He won the bumper one year, and the following year he went on and won the Supreme Novice Hurdle. So it'll never be done again, because they've changed up the time frame for them two particular races. But yeah, Montalado was a great shout. Master Oates, Comanche Court, Beaver Salmon, obviously, a brilliant horse. Probably missing out a few here as well. Party Politics, obviously, and then Cool Ground was a fair shout as well. But obviously, the daddy of them all, Istabrak. He was so popular there. He'd get into anybody's top 10, I'm sure. But he not just to make my top five, but the horses that did. The winners. So Derek McGee, congratulations! You picked Limestone Lad. I just loved this horse. I adored him. Trained by the Bows, small enough training outfit, and won any amount of races in a row. And I remember being over in Cheltenham. It was one of the first times I was over there, and he bounced out to try and make all in the Stayers Hurdle, as he always did. He's front runner, and he got caught by a horse called Bacchanal, I think it was, from Mick Fitzgerald, and they went on and looked like they were going to win handy. But this lad kind of rallied as he did. He was a classy horse, but a game horse as well, and he came back and got within a length of Bacchanal, and I thought, honest to God, I thought the roof was going to come down the road that went up. It was amazing, like it was just hairs at the back of your neck, and as hard as he tried, he couldn't reel in Bacchanal, but just one of those memories that you get from racing, it's fantastic. So well done to Derek McGee, who picked Limestone Lad. Now, Tony Dormio picked Viking Flagship. I mean, what a horse Viking Flagship was, an absolute warrior as well. Adrian Maguire for David Nicholson. I think Charlie Swan deputised for Adrian 1 year in the Queen Mother Champion Chase. Adrian, I think his mother either died or got injured, one or the other. That's what happened to him a few times in Cheltenham. Adrian, obviously, one of my favourite jockeys of all time, a Mead man. They're from Kilmeston, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But, just I loved the man, and fearless. And really, at that time he was just pipped by Richard Dunmuddy in the 1994-1995 jockey's title. I was sick, it was incredible. I thought he had it wrapped up. He was 30 out in front, and look, Dunmuddy came back and chinned him. It was just horrible, but sure, what can you do? But yeah, Viking Flagship gave us great memories. Just a warrior of a horse. Came over to Punchestown. I think he won 2 days in a row. Won at entry. Every time he turned up, like over 2 mile, any ground, he just gave it his all. So that was Viking Flagship. So well done to Tony Dormeo. Darren O'Sullivan picked Barton Bank. Barton Bank, huge favourite of mine. I was only really getting into racing when the likes of One Man, Docklands Express, Barton Bank, the fellow Jadami a few years before that. And Barton Bank, I remember when he won the King George in 1993, and then he went to follow up to the next year, and Adrian Maguire had set sail for home and had the whole field beaten, only for Barton Bank to do what he usually done in races now, and that was to hit one fence really, really hard, and unfortunately for Connections, it was the last fence, and Adrian went out over his head, and he tried to hang on to him, and he did hang on to him, but he just, the damage was done, and they got by him. Algan went on to win that year. It was a right sickener, but I always followed Barton Bank, and he kept running there till around 1997 or 1998, I think, and he was actually second in the Gold Cup as an old horse, and just a brilliant, brilliant horse. Barton Bank, exciting to watch. Beautiful jumper, but he used to just smash one fence out of the way always, and it was 50-50 whether he'd stay up on his feet or come down. That was basically it. He's always an exciting watch. That was good old Barton Bank. Next one, my final David Nicholson horse. I just loved David Nicholson, Adrian Maguire at that stage, and that was the Relkeel. Great shout here from David Chaplin. Brilliant, brilliant horse. Started off when the rest of Sandown, and just turned into a really high level horse, a 2 mile hurdler, and a big grey horse, beautiful stride on him, beautiful jumper. Had barely spent any time in the air at all, and strong travelling type. And I just loved him, and they named the race after him there in Cheltenham. It's called the Relkeel Hurdle, which will be coming up soon, and this lad, just a fantastic, fantastic horse. And my final horse of the day was the People's Champion, and for me, just, he has to be my all-time fav, and that's Denali. So well done to Thomas Agnew, who suggested Denali. Trained by Tom Foley, who sadly passed away there earlier on this year, I think. And Denali was an incredible horse. Won the Supreme Novice Hurdle. Landed a huge, huge gamble. He was like the banker for many over there. I'd say if Denali got beaten the first race that year, a lot of the Irish would have just headed home because, they all just went nuts on him. And owned by Dan O'Neill, that's how Denali was named, really. And just a small enough outfit. Obviously it wasn't bought for big money. You see now these days, there's stupid money being paid for horses, like 300,000 or 400,000 for National Hunt horse. But not many of them will turn out as good as Denali, Savage horse, and he won the big Hennessy Chase there at Leopardstown as well, coming back from injury. And that was probably one of the best days racing I ever had. Around the parade ring that day, it was like 12 deep, and everyone just, it's a big rush to the parade ring, from the stands, and just amazing, So that was Denali. So yeah, thanks very much, as I say, for entering the competition. I just quickly flick through the winners again. Derek McGee for Limestone Lad, Tony Dormeo, Viking Flagship, Darren O'Sullivan, Barton Bank, Relkeel for David Chaplin, and Denali, as I say, for Thomas Agnew. If you get in touch with me by messenger, and we'll sort out something, whether you want me to do a bet for you. Well, I'll be doing the bet for you. But if you want to do your own selection, or you want me to put it on a horse that I fancy, she'll let me know. It's 20 quid free bet, win bet anyway, there for you. So, as I say, thanks a million for entering. And I'll do another one, soon enough, the next week or two. I'll do, say, 2000, my top 5 horses. Same again, favourite horses from the years 2000 to 2010 for the next one. All right. Thanks very much again. It's Joe Value for Cold Beer Sports. Do not forget to tune in to the Breeders' Cup preview tonight.